That's like saying it's too cold to play pickup basketball because there's snow on the ground. I know down in St. Louis that would never be the case.
Never.
Be out there balling. Harry be out there golfing with a full suit, a winter suit on, and one of those hats with the shitty, that ball that's on top,
like a ski cap. Yeah,
with the ball on. I can see.
I don't wear the one with the ball on it, but I do wear like a cap like this, and then I'll put the ski cap over top of that.
That's a veteran move. Yeah,
that's the pro move. And then
now wait a second.
You're not a ball
guy.
What's that?
You're not a ballsman.
What do you mean a ballsman?
Scully.
No, I don't have the ball on the top. No.
Barrett?
No.
Oh,
I have like a 40-degree limit though. Like it's got to be 40 to 42 degrees or above.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like they never won a game back in the day when it was 42 degrees or below. That's kind of my cutoff.
Really? Okay. I thought I could see you out there. Well, I guess you're right. At some point, it just becomes miserable.
Yeah.
Right?
And especially if it's wet, because it's usually wet, damp, and cold is just, the ball doesn't go anywhere. It's just, you get crappy lies in the fairway, even, there's goose crap all over the place. It's just,
you got to use, orange or the yellow balls then, right? The fluorescent
Why is that?
balls. Because it's white and the snow on the ground.
Well, there's no snow.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No, I'm not playing.
Can't play
snow.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No,
that's you and your one iron.
We can get some stuff done with that one iron in cold weather.
Yeah,
you would want that. You would want that cold weather with the one iron.
Right.
Wow. Well, it gets cold enough to where if you swing the club, you can take the entire head off, like it can freeze, right? And then just like fly off. That's happened to me before.
It has.
Yeah.
You know what? Then you go switch to golf simulation places, bro. That's when you go there. Then you have a nice. You go out, man. With the fellas, bro, and you go They have this golf. What is it called? Golf Central.
X Golf is the place I go to.
Well, there's one right across the street from the what do you call it? The casino down off Delaware Avenue. It's called Golf Social.
Oh, okay.
And you go in there, have your couple drinks. You know what I'm saying? You go up to the golf simulators. They'll bring your food to you.
Across from the old Sugar House. What's that called now?
Yeah.
River something.
Rivers. Yeah.
Not Sugar Lips.
No, not Sugar Lips.
Not Michelin.
No, not Michelin Lips. That'll get you canceled.
No,
right.
Yeah, but I guess only if you put it in an email. If you put it in an email, out of 650,000 emails, we found one email that said Michelin Lips, and that guy got canceled. But nothing's happened to anybody else.
Right.
And now Adam Schefter is getting heat. Did you see this? That's the latest.
Oh yeah.
Does he release something?
ESPN is taking him down from their Ring of Honor, Harry.
No, is that right? Yeah. But they're leaving O.J. Simpson in just as the Buffalo Bills have. So it makes total sense. Yeah.
So Tampa, the Bucks took him down from the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And I tell people, like, they say he's racist. I'm like this. Look, he was my friend, right?
Right.
And he's still my friend. It's just when I see him now, I get to whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Friends whoop their friend's ass, Just like you have a brother. You can't just not be your brother. You just got to whoop his ass. He does something wrong. So when I see him, I might smack him or whoop his ass real fast, and then I'll pick him up, dust him off, and then we can go talk football again, man. That's all.
Right. Now I gotta credit our old buddy Jake Asman, who I miss terribly.
Oh no.
Since we're no longer on Sports Map.
Can we get him on?
Yeah, we should. Along with Ron Culver. I'd like to get Ron Culver on one of these days too. But Jake Asman tweeted when Schefter put out the announcement about the Buccaneers taking John Gruden off the Ring of Honor, that yes, but O.J. Simpson is still on the Buffalo Bills Ring of Honor. I mean, is that the ultimate? It's unbelievable. Like, in other words, you can send some toxic emails to people with some bad language and inappropriate language, but you can't do that. But you can commit a double murder, and we're cool, right?
It's a cancel culture, man. Cancel culture.
Jesus.
It is what
but only certain stuff gets canceled.
Right.
Which unfortunately, and this is the problem with having a select approach to what gets canceled, is it devalues what is actually getting canceled. Meaning, like John Gruden shit should get canceled, but because it's so selective And it's not Gruden. I mean, this is just something that's been happening and perpetuated forever now. But because it's just what's going on, people, it's like, oh, I don't care anymore. So you have extreme reactions. It's either cancel or it's like, whatever. And that's kind of where we are right now. And Gruden is just the latest example of it, where so many people are bringing up, well, what about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? And it's like, well, yeah, okay, but still, that doesn't mean that Gruden shouldn't feel the wrath for what he did. And at the same time, it's ridiculous that it's right. It's like both of these points being raised doesn't reduce the other point, but that's
put it like this,
where we are.
What is to be honest, like even a lot of these black households, even in my household, is there degrees in which you cancel somebody? Is there a degree? Just like a sin's a sin. In the Bible, the sin is there's no greater sin than the next sin, or
they're all equal,
point, right? So they're all equal, with the exception of taking your own life. That's supposed to be the greatest, but what degree of atrocity gets you canceled? What degree? Because it would seem like when it was just about DeMar Smith, it was like, all right, we're just gonna slap you on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
Right.
But once you bring
use a
other
homophobic slur, use a homophobic slur, then we're
gonna cut you. We are going to cut you now. You know what I'm saying? And, it kind of pissed me off a little bit, but because it shouldn't be degrees, in what right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Either you're wrong or you're right. But man, who lives in an area that's not gray? So, like I said, John Gruden.
Well, people in politics do.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
and that's why it's gotten to that point where there are now that's why everything is a hierarchy. Everything is put into a list of, what's happening to fill in the blank community is bad, but what about this community? Or what about what's happening over here in this part of the world? Or what about what's happened to that community for 50 years? And what happens is that the people, and I'll use your point, the reason why we're here, Barrett, is because people who look like you have routinely been put in the back for the newest, latest, this person's culture deserves to be treated equally. And what happens is you have so many people on this hierarchy of ladders that we're still left asking the same questions about one or two cultures. Meanwhile, it's like, well, we keep adding and adding and adding. But the reality is back to your point where everything should be looked at equally. And instead, as far as the negatively, I'm saying, not just as a positive, negatively, it should be looked at as equally. But it can't be anymore because there's always somebody now who hasn't been, right, who hasn't been heard or hasn't been equal or hasn't been treated to that point. So it's like, well, whoa. What size of the population are you representing? Where are we right now? And that's where, unfortunately, we have this thing come back to where there's a hierarchy.
Yeah, did you see that there's attorneys now for 40 former Washington football team employees? They released a statement calling it, quote, truly outrageous. The only person to be held accountable and lose their job is the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And they're calling for the NFL to release all the findings of the investigation.
Yeah.
And then what happened? The next release was Adam Schefter
apparently asking what Bruce Allen saying, hey, is this story correct? Basically asking Bruce Allen to edit a story that he was about to, unleash on ESPN.com and just getting the approval of the source of the team. Like, can I release this? Is this okay? Is this what you want me to say? Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about
is this appropriate? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You want me to take something else out or put something else in? What's going on with it? It's all BS in the long run, anyways, because throughout that whole entire I'm not even gonna call it a witch hunt because there's a lot of stuff that was being done in that organization that was wrong. You were almost pimping out your employees. They were pimping out their employees, told that, all right, you got to take this client. This girl has to take this client out and you better show them a good time. You know what I'm saying? But you're still our employee, and then when it all comes to surface, oh no, we never asked you to do that. Yeah, okay, right. You were never asked.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. That's been released. Like we know about that because that's been released. But look at what people have been focusing on, right? And this is what happens is we get something like that released. Instead, it's no. Look at John Gruden or look at Adam Schefter. And then 2 years later, there's going to be uproar and outrage from the same people, mind you, who spent 2 weeks talking about John Gruden. Those same people a year from now are going to go back because there's going to be something else that's going to point to what Barrett just brought up and say, oh my God, how come nobody's talking about this?
Right.
Because you 2 years ago refused to talk about it. And you insisted on filling your and other people's timelines up with John Gruden or Adam Schefter. And it's like, no, we know about this because it gets released. And that's where I think the arrogance is right now of Washington, is that this stuff gets released, like what Barrett just brought up, those allegations about these cheerleaders down there on the photo shoot, and nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody even cares. Washington probably feels like, go ahead, release it. Release it.
You know what the biggest travesty of this is? The biggest thing is, who did Gruden piss off in the front office, which allowed this stuff to be leaked? Because they've been privileged to this for a long time, way before this. They've had this has happened 7 years ago. He has 7 years worth of dirt emails that he's sent, but it's just now coming to surface. So who did he piss off? Who wanted John Gruden out of the organization so bad that they did this? You know, it's selective. It's selectively being let out. All right, I'm tired of John Gruden. I'm tired of the mess he's made. I'm getting him out of here. So they released it.
Well, maybe the owner was tired of paying him $10 million for mediocre results.
That's what I'm saying, Harry.
Yeah, but this all came up with Washington. This all came up in an investigation with Washington.
Right,
so
but who leaked
Mark
it?
Davis.
Who leaked it?
Right. So Mark Davis
2 years ago, right?
But that's what I'm saying.
But the attorney is working for the league.
Right.
Correct.
A la Goodell. He called Goodell, you know what? You know what I mean?
Right.
And Goodell works
But the attorneys
for Davis.
aren't leaking this.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, the NFL offices knew about it.
Correct.
Right.
Who do you know, man? He might have
that's
said
what I'm
something
saying.
to Goodell, like he might have. Like I said, John runs his mouth too much, and that's his biggest. That's his biggest
downfall. Yeah.
He runs his mouth too much. He's always been this guy. You know, like he's always been this guy. Now, like I said, what he said is racist, but he, as a person, he understands where his bread is buttered. So he would never say anything like this to a person of color, because he understands who are the people that breads his butter. You know what I'm saying? He is not going to do that. So he not in front of us. So that's why I say if I see him, I'll just whoop his ass and pick him up, dust him off. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, you better not do that again. You know what I mean? At this point, but who? Like, all right, I want Gruden out of here, because can you imagine how many places that their emails with these good old boys? The Billionaire Boys Club say whatever the hell they want to say. Jones says whatever the hell he wants to say. He does whatever he wants to do on his team during all the movement with Black Lives Matter, through all the movement with social injustice. He stood on his square and said, "Look, you better not kneel in front of anything on my football field. I dare you to. You be out of here on the next thing smoking." And they didn't. You know what I'm saying? He stood up for that. You know what I'm saying? Which is BS. But what happened to him? Absolutely nothing. But the owner of the Clippers, he says something to his significant other. She leaks it, and he has to give up his team. But yet Jerry Jones still has his team. So it's like it's selective ownership. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he's a more vocal.
Jerry Jones wasn't a slumlord either.
Right.
Donald Sterling was a slumlord.
It's really hard to compare what those two guys were doing, especially because one wasn't really making any money for the NBA and was a guy that a lot of people wanted out.
Well, they were just
and
that's
why the NBA. Yeah, I mean, the NBA, there was no blowback, right?
No.
There was no blowback whatsoever. Jerry Jones, and look, and others may disagree with Jerry Jones' stance, but that's not the same as being at least caught. Now, that's not to say that Jerry Jones isn't saying stuff that maybe if it came public, but at least with one guy, we knew, huh?
It was. He was outwardly saying, that's not happening on my team. He said that outwardly. He was daring somebody. I wish you would. I wish you would try to take a stance in my locker room, on my field, wearing my star on my helmet. You bet not. And they did.
Right, which isn't grounds to lose a team, though. Not like what happened with the other guy, is my point.
It is if you're the one that the social injustice is a part of your life that you got to deal with. Hell yeah, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? That's right there saying, oh, you can't do it because I don't feel as though. No, you have nothing to do with what I do in my life and how, you know what I'm saying, how I'm being persecuted in my life. And you're saying, well, this is my team. I don't care what's going on in your life. You better not do it. That's BS, bro. I mean, you can't say that. I mean, at the end of the day, Jerry Jones is a high-ranking official who's very outwardly and vocally doing what he wants to do on his team. Period, point blank. He was never in it with anybody saying, all right, we're gonna, ride with anything Colin Kaepernick ever said. He said he better not do this and he better not do that. At the end of the day, man, he does what he wants to do. So when I say Billionaire Boys Club, he's the head of it, and he's sending whatever emails or anything else. If they sent anybody to check his emails out, it'd be a problem. You know, you could guarantee that. But like I said, they want to Gruden out of there.
Though, that
maybe he was emailing Bruce Allen too.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, seriously,
we'll find out.
And the Texans,
that's what I mean.
ownership.
These guys are high targets. If Jerry Jones had loose stuff, hanging out here, then people would be all over it. Like Jerry Jones is a target amongst targets, especially to your point, Barrett. Once he came out and spoke against players kneeling, he became an even bigger target for the cancel culturers and those who like dig and try and go and find old stuff and everything. And isn't that interesting that he became more of a target, and instead John Gruden's emails somehow have surfaced.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And we're talking about selective degrees of wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Ash said, you know, what Sterling said is a lot different. Yes, it is a lot different. What he said was outrageous. In fact, I do more than whoop Sterling's ass. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, you know, you can't say my take is ridiculous, 91 LX extras, because like I said, we're talking about the degrees of wrong. You know what I'm saying? Who's the one to say that this degree is wronger than this wrong over here? You know what I'm saying? You know, what degree is wrong with what happened with Jacksonville's head coach, you know, and what's going on with Gruden. You know what I'm saying? Here he is outwardly just, you know, got his hands up this girl's butt and not going with the team. Is that degree different than, you know, sending an email 7 years ago? I mean, we're talking about the degrees of wrong right now. We're not talking about anything but that. I'm just simply saying what I think. You know what I'm saying? Who cares what I think? I'm just letting you know what I think. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying?
Andrew Brandt tweeted this yesterday. I saw this and favorited it. What John Gruden did was repugnant. That's not in debate. But the NFL's diversion here is diabolical. Focusing on the ESPN broadcaster who wouldn't join the NFL for 5 more years. This case was about the Washington franchise. Gruden was sacrificed for the greater, and he puts in parentheses, NFL owners, good.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, I mean, Dan Lust had one earlier. I'm surprised he's not Andrew Brandt, so it's not going to go viral. But the first tweet that I saw about it was Lust, who basically said that the law firm was paid to investigate Washington and didn't see a single email from Snyder and never a written report. All of Gruden's emails come out from an investigation he was not even the subject of. Strange until you remember that capital owners run the league. And It's like, you know, everybody's having these realizations, and it's great. And it's like, you know, the think piece times that we live in, but still what's changing? Like think about it. We all went from being like, oh my God, you know, Washington is benefiting from this, Daniel Snyder, all this other shit from it. And then instead we're talking about what? Adam Schefter today.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, Sports Law Lust. I get most of my stuff from him on his Instagram, more than the Twitter.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm just saying,
he's
all
been
sat
out in
there.
Front of it.
But I'm just saying, in general, we all sat there initially, us yesterday and everything, talking about how, oh my God, this is such a clear diversion, distraction, Washington, everything along these lines of Snyder. And the next day, the next leak isn't Daniel Snyder. It's not Bruce Allen's reply to John Gruden's email. It's something about Adam Schefter.
Right. Crazy.
I mean, seriously, if I didn't think otherwise, I'd say this stuff is all planned at this point.
Right. Well, you know,
are we getting trolled? Are we into some simulation here? Like, what is going on?
Well, this is all a part of my diabolical plan. So you know, just like they said, you know, look at the stream. I'm hoping that, you know, I'm making the Raiders organization become in so much of an influx that, you know, bad things and bad karma that they just, you know, so disorganized and disarray that they lose to my Philadelphia Eagles. That's my ultimate plan.
What,
like
Tampa
Pinky in a brain.
or the Raiders?
No, the Raiders.
The Raiders. The Raiders.
You got to go. You got to fade the Raiders this week, right? Just like we did.
Oh, no question. Yeah. We got
Absolutely.
to. We got to.
Right.
But Dan Lust on his Instagram also put out yesterday, per reports that the NFL Players Association plans to petition the NFL to release the full findings of the investigation. So not only do you have former Washington football team employees getting lawyers that are demanding that this happen, but the NFL Players Association.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh,
and still nothing.
Yes. I mean,
well, nothing yet, but I mean, like,
yeah, right. But I'm saying, like, what did we get?
Well, you know, Pro Football Talk
Adam
says
Schefter.
In July, the NFL managed to hide the results of the WFT investigation.
Yes.
In October, the NFL dipped into those results just enough ammunition to get Gruden out of the league. It might have backfired with the players now demanding to see the rest.
Let's see. Here's what, though, this pretty much confirms for me is what we all believed, which is Schefter was basically mouthpiecing Howie Roseman.
Right.
And probably other general managers as well that he have that relationship with.
Sure.
You've always said that. Both
Yeah.
of you guys have said that.
Yeah.
That, you know, Schefter gets his stuff straight from them. I never really thought about it in that aspect. I mean, I thought he was trying to be. He's a guy that, you know, he's tied in with the end. Well, he's tied in with the big ends. You know what I'm saying? He knows a lot because he talks directly with them. So I mean, at the end of the day, you know what happens with this? Nothing happens to the Washington football team. The Raiders gets, you know, put into a sample.
Meanwhile, the WFT fans are sitting here saying, humming, like, we still have Dan Snyder. How is this possible? Look how easy it was for the Raiders to get rid of their overpaid, underperforming head coach. Yet we still have this bozo leading the franchise, and that was who the investigation was targeted in the first place. How is this possible?
But think about it. In the movie, that's what this is. In the movie, it's Daniel Snyder sitting behind in some poorly lit room laughing as the latest thing gets released against him. And the public, right? It flashes to the public full in Times Square. Oh, my God, I can't believe he emailed that, right? And then Snyder's sitting there like, ha, ha.
Meanwhile, Daniel Snyder's deep throat in this situation, like in the water.
He's his own deep throat.
Right, he's his own deep throat, like in water.
All I wanted to do was just change the emblem of my helmet. You know, I just want the numbers on the helmet.
I'm just trying to sell more merch here, guys.
Right. Hey, you know, those what's it called? Bruce Smith contracts, Deion Sanders contracts.
Right.
You know, you got to recoup some money with that.
Oh, man.
You know,
now, is this correct? Ash says that WFT will announce their new name next week. LMAO. Is that?
No, he's just
kidding, right?
It's perfect.
That would be perfect timing, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, look over here. Look at our new stuff.
Seriously, if I'm Cleveland, I'm doing it. Like anybody who needs a new team name, now may be the time. Just slide in there and be like, yeah, you know.
Oh man.
Seriously, I can't. Like, what's the next one? You have Schefter, you have Gruden, then Schefter.
Yeah, who's next? Ian Rappaport? Is he next?
Seriously.
Or Darren Ravel.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's probably going to be somebody that's not even connected. My guess is it's not even somebody who's connected to the NFL. Like, there's going to be some email chain that somehow Woj or somebody like that got put on, and Woj was asking Bruce Allen his thoughts on a strip club in Atlanta or some crazy shit like that. And it's going to be like, I can't believe it. This guy is reporting on the NBA. Get him out. Get him out. It's going to be something stupid.
Well, look at this, though. At least you guys know that it won't nothing come on my email, because at the end of the day, I just check my email to see when I'm gonna get the link for our show.
Right.
That's the only thing that comes out on my email.
Dude, all I do is delete emails every day, hundreds at a time, every day.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. I I gotta go on. I gotta log on just to get the link. Because if you guys text me that link, I would never get on it.
Right.
Never.
It's a pretty low bar though of what you don't have to put in an email in order to not get canceled.
Mhm.
Like let's believe that. I mean, there's not much stuff that comes out from unless you're like, a CEO of a major corporation and it's like, haha, screw those people.
Or else nobody
Smoking's gonna
cares.
kill them.
Right.
Exactly.
Cares,
Right.
yeah.
But I mean, like, for even people like us, or to a greater extent, Barrett, it's gonna take something pretty obvious, right? Like Gruden stuff was pretty, and again, that's why it works so well as a scapegoat. It's not like there's gray area in there, right? It's not like there's room for interpretation. Even the rubber lip stuff, it's kind of like, come on, guy,
Right. Now, one thing's for sure, though, if Bruce Allen seems to have been emailing everybody on the planet.
Right.
He sends a lot of emails, this Bruce Allen. Maybe if he sent any to Hunter Biden, we're never going to find out about those. That's for sure.
That would be something, right?
Yes.
That's what's on that laptop.
Right.
Bruce Allen's emails. Daniel Snyder's got some pretty important friends, all right?
Oh, my goodness.
Did you know today is No Bra Day?
I saw that.
Yeah,
I
it's
saw,
trending
no,
on
not for the
Twitter.
reason you think, Barrett. Get your head out of the gutter.
No, it's to encourage breast cancer awareness, Barrett. Because apparently we don't have enough awareness. I've been aware. There's been awareness for the last 40 years.
What do you think is an issue that people aren't aware of? And look, aware is different than not
hole.
care.
You're not getting me down that wormhole right now. That rabbit hole I'm staying away from.
My word.
It can
Why?
spiral.
Because your mom's watching. See? That's unfair.
Yeah.
Mama Brooks, Barrett needs a hall pass for like 4 minutes a show.
Right.
Right? Can't we do that? Can't we get that? I mean, we're not going to get that from the boss lady, but at least we could try and get that from Mama Brooks. That's all.
The stream is wondering. The stream is wondering if I have any
morning.
burner phones. I don't. You think I'm going to mess with burner phones? It's hard enough to keep track of my one phone.
No, and look, you may have thoughts in your head that go against the public grain, but you're not stupid enough to put anything that would ever get you canceled or fired or anything in an email.
NBC.
Yeah.
They give you a work phone.
Right.
They give you a laptop.
Right.
Nothing ever leaves that office.
No.
It's still sitting there.
No.
Right.
No. That's on
Barrett
GPS
never uses his phone. Like his data.
Right.
Barrett
No wonder why.
One bit of data on his phone.
No wonder why he's not checking his email, Harry.
Right. It stays right there. Bro, I can send you a text right now. I can send you a text
We have to
right
get
now.
Amy back on and apologize to Barrett in front of Amy and say, you know what? We figured this thing out. We understand why. Barrett doesn't like tracking.
Bro, my phone, Michelle Murray used to be, my manager. She's now went to another company now. And then my new old guy, is Doug.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug sent me a text. Hey, your laptop is still at the desk. I said, oh damn, I should have put it in the drawer. That's what I responded. I should have put it in the drawer.
In other words, it ain't coming home with me.
Yep. There you go.
I should have put it in the
Love
drawer.
it.
That was my response. I was like, I should have put it in the drawer.
Dude, I want you to bust that laptop out on Thursday night on the post-game show.
You know what?
What does it have on it? Like an NBC logo or?
Eytan, I have no freaking idea.
Do you know what color it is?
It's silver. It's been sitting
there. Is it a
silver.
Mac or a PC?
Bro, it's behind. I have a where I caught a tuna. I caught a 55-pound tuna, and I got a plaque for catching a 55-pound tuna from my doc, and Doc C.
Not the Kahuna.
And it's behind my plaque of me winning, the pool and the tuna. It's behind that. That's
Do you
where
even know
put
the
it
password to get into the laptop?
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's so bad that the desktop computer there is not even linked to the thing when you could where you could go in and to the printers and print something out. It's not even hooked up to the printer. I tell somebody, hey, could you guys print me out an Hourlad roster.
Oh, they must love that. You're printing out 60-page documents of our-led depth charts,
Right.
and you don't even have your computer hooked up to a
I
printer.
asked them, could you get, and when I come in now, it's sitting in my desk. The Owl Lad for our team and the opposing team is sitting on my desk. Doug's make sure I get it there. I don't get a script. You know what I'm saying? It's an adventure every time I have to read the prompter.
Wow.
Because I don't even know what they put in there for me to read the prompter. So it's like a surprise. When I'm saying it, it's a surprise to everybody because I do not go in and change anything up.
Right.
I'm just reading whatever it says on there, and that's it. Period.
You're like Ron Burgundy.
Right.
Yeah,
Just reading whatever's on the screen.
So if it goes boop, 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 5, 5, 5,
All right.
it says boop, boop, boop,
Right.
boop, 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 5, 5, 5.
We got to take a quick one here. We have a lot more here coming up, including start looking at this game at some point here, I'm sure. And I don't know, maybe there's another leak that happens. We can try and track down your boy to see if there's any interest with the opening of a season right around the corner. But we also have this Ben Simmons stuff popping up. So there's a lot. It's the middle. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. And please subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. That does wonders for us. We're back in 3.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
It's hard to believe that we have a game coming up tomorrow night, man. It's like,
I know, it does kind of feel weird, right?
It does.
Bro, it's a
Maybe
game.
because, I don't know. Maybe
What's the
because
line,
of all
man?
this stuff.
Sharon, what's the line?
6.5, 7.
6. Yeah, it dropped. It dropped. It was 7, but it dropped.
And you think
A lot of people bet. Well, because again, and this is my hypothetical to you, right? How many people do you like? What percentage do you think of the people that are at the link Thursday night are placing regular sports wagers, like are out there betting regularly, just in general, right? And then take that percentage and ask yourself, of that many people, which I do believe is a good amount, how many people have money on the Bucks? How many people who are down at that game have money on the Eagles fans in Eagles jerseys, have money on the Bucks or money on the under, rooting for failure on the field?
Yeah.
And that's what you do, life of an under better.
Right.
Is you're rooting, and you don't care if it's your squad or the other squad that turns the football over. And again, I go back to this where I think that there is almost this group thought mentality that, well, I bet I can't publicly go out and root against my team in this area, so I'll just bet on the Eagles. Now, that doesn't mean that they always get it wrong. There are plenty of times in which they get it right. I'm just saying that I feel like in this case, look, 7 is a lot on the road, short week. I would go under
Tom
first
Brady's
half,
got a bad thumb.
Yeah.
You know,
Levante David's out, but
David's out. Gronkowski's probably out.
Eagles come off biggest win of the season.
That's big.
Maybe even of Jalen Hurts' career.
Yeah.
That's big, man. But,
that's tough. That's tough to keep up, man. That's like, you went to the moon last week, and now you got to go to the grocery store this week.
Yeah. Imagine William Shatner after he gets shot into space. You think he's going to be up and ready on a short week the next week to do anything?
No, he's not doing any stand-up in Vegas.
He's not doing any Priceline commercials.
No. Is he still around doing those?
No, I don't even know if that website even exists anymore. It might have been.
We got to talk to
Mr.
Commercial.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he does. Yes.
All right, Mr. Commercial. He knows. He saw William Shatner do a Priceline.
I just saw one like 2 days ago.
Yeah, not Mr. Premium.
Yeah. No, but I do know a lot of people. I mean, I want to say a lot of people. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
In my circle, I know people that will bet this game. They'll bet the Buccaneers, even though they're Eagles fans, because either way, then they come out a winner. Like if the Eagles win the game, they're happy, and they'll lose their $50 or whatever it is. But if the Buccaneers win and cover, well, I didn't think the Eagles had a chance. At least I won $50 or $100 or whatever it is. That sort of mentality.
Well, yeah,
I can see that, but do you think that there are people, and look, maybe that's the exception to my rule. And those people are probably betting more than not, right? Like the people you're referencing that probably don't place a wager once a month.
No, and they don't just bet the Eagles games. They're betting other football games and other sports.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I think
I can figure that. I can also see, our fan base, even though they know it's doom and gloom going against, the GOAT of all quarterbacks, the best player to ever play the game, him, playing against our team and just betting, just because it's our team, that they're just going to bet with our team. They can't bet against them. So, I can definitely see that happening. That kind of pushing the envelope as far as, how the money line goes. The only thing going on that Thursday, our team doesn't play on Sunday, so they got to bet right now. That could happen. That could definitely happen. So
wow,
I can see that.
Look, I don't think that, and I'll tell you the split so far because we're getting closer to Thursday night. So I imagine we're getting a bunch of 16,000 or so tickets. But look, I mean, 75% of the bets are on the Bucks, and that doesn't even account for half of the money. So there's small bet, big money on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Yes, but here's the thing. That could easily factor into why this is dropped from 7.5 to 6.5.
Sharps.
And exactly. And if you know that the second or most, right, it kind of rotates now a little bit, but 7 being one of the biggest key numbers of winning margins, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've created a window where what? I tell you, this phone, man.
The heck is that?
You've been talking about that for the longest. You talk about it. It's what it comes on droids.
Oh,
no idea. It
Wow.
just popped up.
I hate to do it.
No, but yeah, seriously, right? But my point being is that this thing may go down to 6. So if you are involved in helping to drop that and you pound the Philadelphia Eagles at +7.5, you could have a window before kick of Tampa -6 and Philly +7.5 and get in at 7, which is a key number.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Huge key number. So that's why I'd look at this and say, oh, no. Sharps don't necessarily know something that we don't here. It's probably an easier path to, wow, it's over 7. It's already been pushed through 7. So somebody out there is trying to create a window.
Manipulate the line.
PGF.
Yeah. But
that doesn't give me more. Sorry.
No, go ahead. That doesn't give you more.
I was going to say that doesn't give me more hope for the Eagles. It's just a window. That's all.
Now, this is not going to be one of these weeks where Nick Sirianni commits to the run either.
No, it's not.
It's not.
We don't have a snowball's chance with them committing to the run.
No, he's going to want to try to keep up with Tom Brady. And Tampa has a league low in rushing attempts. They've run the ball or against their defense. They've had a league low of only 79 rushing attempts against their defense. Now, a lot of that is because they're ahead in some of these games, big like against Atlanta. They got way out in front of them in week 2. Week 1, Dak Prescott threw 58 times. We were sitting here saying, why didn't they run Ezekiel Elliott more? So even with a back like Ezekiel Elliott, Dallas was like, no, we're going to throw the football. The Rams got into a lead. They got out in front by 2 scores, and they committed to the run. Sony Michel actually ran the ball 20 times in that game for 60, 70 yards, whatever it was. The Patriots ran for minus what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Patriots ran for -1 yard in their game again.
Yep.
Yes, -1. And the leading rusher was Nelson Aguilar in that game, a wide receiver.
Jet sweep. I remember that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he had like 4 or 5 yards rushing, and he was the leading rusher, but the team itself was -1. They relied on the rookie quarterback, and he kept them in the game. Miami, Myles Gaskin only had 5 rushes in that game, and they were in that game until the 4th quarter. Tampa Bay scored 3 touchdowns, outscored them 21-0 in the 4th quarter. It was a 24-17 game after 3.
Right.
So,
you know what's interesting, Harry?
Yeah.
This is the biggest split in the NFL for how good one part of the defense is versus how bad, statistically at least, the other part of the defense is. They're number 1, as you mentioned, just under 46 rushing yards per game is what they average on the ground. They're dead last in the league. They're worse than Kansas City when it comes to pass defense.
Yeah. Well, they got a lot of injuries. Richard Sherman
absolutely. And Levante David being out doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. But I mean, their front's pretty darn good. This Vita Vea guy, he's one of these guys that doesn't get a lot of the stats, but he influences the game significantly.
Once he gets going one way, it's hard to stop him, man. He once he gets going one way, he's going to keep going that way until he decides he wants to change direction. Yeah. So when you're playing against a team like that, man, and what's his name, Ndamukong Suh?
Yeah.
You don't want to bump your head against the wall, man.
Right. Is Sue going to be going up against Andre Dillard? Because if so, that's a power guy.
No, he's going to be. Dillard's going to be going against, for the most part, JPP. And at times they'll switch Barrett, to the other side also. So this will be his true test. This is going to be whether, he's a bona fide starting NFL tackle going against a guy like JPP or Barrett, rushing him. And I'm inclined to say that I like his chances. I like the fact that he's going to go out there. Like I said, I've been telling people all the time for the past 2 weeks now, he might be the number 1 trade commodity for this Eagles team going into the trade deadline.
Yeah,
man. If I'm Todd Bowles, I put Sue over there a couple of times and see if you can handle this guy.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the old Batman.
How you like me now?
Wait till they get a load of me.
Exactly right. That guy still plays pissed off.
Crazy, isn't it?
He is a monster.
Dominus got an attitude for no reason. He just walks around with an attitude, man.
Right. He would bite your kneecap off.
College.
Yeah.
Right.
Nebraska.
Yeah. Him and David played together. I mean,
he was angry.
Yeah.
David played at Nebraska too.
Both of those guys played together.
Yeah.
No, 2 things to keep an eye on. This line's already moved over 60. It was 50, I think 8.5 yesterday, because I was looking at it for something else. Leonard Fournette's rushing total is only 61.5. Now, Ronald Jones is not, he may vulture a touchdown on the goal line from Fournette, but Fournette is fully entrenched as their running back. We've seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the latest, to victimize. And look, it didn't matter with, or not Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'm sorry, Chuba Hubbard.
He had over 100.
3 straight weeks. This rush defense has given up 100 yards to one back on the ground, right?
Yep.
So wouldn't it stand to reason that you could at least get 62 rushing yards from Leonard Fournette?
Yeah, you would think. I mean,
that seems insanely low, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Brady having his thumb, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't want him to throw the ball as much. So you give it.
I'm jumping in on this.
Yeah,
that's a good bet. But the key matchup, Clash of the Titans, is our center against our nose guard against their center.
Oh yeah.
Do you know I love?
I
absolutely love.
Is that what you just said?
I love Ryan Jensen, bro.
Yeah, Jensen, and then Marpet on the other side of him too. That guard is pretty good.
So you got those. You got him against Hargrave.
Yeah.
This is Clash of the Titans. Our best player, our best player against their best offensive lineman.
They don't run the ball well, though. Like, I know I just said Fournette can go over 100, but that prop is also reflective of the fact that their offensive line isn't spectacular, Barrett, when it comes to running the football.
But you gotta.
They protect Brady, though. I mean,
they do.
Throw
That's
the ball,
what they do.
but
They're better pass blockers. Tristan Wirfs is one of the best young talents as far as tackles in the league. I think I forget the guy on the other side's name is Jones or some common name, but he's I forget his name. What is his name? Let me look it up. Real fast.
Chris Godwin knee, is he playing?
I'm not sure.
Smith.
I think so. They also could get
Donovan
Winfield
Smith
back this week, by the way.
Who?
Get who?
Donovan Smith, you said?
Yeah, Donovan Smith is the
right tackle. Well, he's a left tackle?
Yeah, left tackle.
Okay.
How many times has Brady even been sacked? They're the number 1 passing offense this year. And I know he's 15-2, the touchdown to intercept. He's been sacked 9 times. 5 games, 9 times. You can get to him. But, wow, I mean, the touchdown to interception ratio, this is clearly the most talent he's ever had across the board on one. Mike Evans is just a monster now. Chris Godwin or not, right?
Yeah.
You have him, and think about it. Antonio Brown, I still don't think defenses. Maybe this is the week, but Antonio Brown is as close to what he was pre-meltdown as he's been since the meltdown.
Right.
And pre-meltdown, he was a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL each and every year.
He had a huge big play last week. Went over 100. Huge. So did Evans. Evans was over 100 last week too.
So think about this. This is my biggest concern when it comes to this Eagles defense, mainly secondary. And we've talked about it, just how top heavy they are, right? Where Darius Slay is going to be on somebody, Steven Nelson's going to be on somebody, and then it's like, hey, look, you hold your breath with Avonte Maddox or whatever else you may have. We just listed, right? And Godwin is going to space the field, especially if AB is in some sort of slot scenario, right? Antonio Brown, and I'm looking for the actual prop here. Antonio Brown to score 2 or more touchdowns, I think is the play. It's at plus 750. I think Antonio Brown is going to be the benefactor of we could only put so many guys on so many people.
Right.
Pick your poison.
And I think that you already saw that. You mentioned the big play last week where he took it and ran. The speed is there. The route running is there. The catching is there. The connection with Brady is there. Yep. I mean, at plus 750 for a guy to get 2 or more touchdowns in this scenario, I think it's going to be a lot harder for Mike Edwards or Chris Godwin to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they got, Tyler Johnson, who might be one of the fastest guys on the field at the time. They have a wide receiver core. Why would you want to run the ball when you have guys like that? We're not even talking about the tight end position. You got O.J. Howard, and Cameron Brate is one of the most underrated tight ends in the league, bro. Very underrated. So I mean, I would hose it around also. You know, I wouldn't run the ball. I would hose it around.
And they can also throw it to the backs too. I mean, Fournette's good out of the backfield catching balls. Giovanni Bernard is a really good weapon that they can use, and same with Jones. Yeah, yeah, they got a lot.
No, I think so, man.
Yeah, Donovan Smith was as a Penn Stater. That's right. The stream is correct. John Dickerson.
What's that?
Donovan Smith was a Penn State player. The left tackle for the Buccaneers. Yeah.
You know what I think is also interesting too is that, and I don't know, Barrett, if guys even need this around him, but it's clear that Tom Brady is the heart and soul of that football team, right? But I wonder if, because Brady has made it public, so it's hard for me to ignore this, but he still loses sleep over that Super Bowl. He still loses sleep over Nick Foles, over dropping the football, all of that stuff, losing a Super Bowl. And look, it may be the same with the Giants as well. I'm just saying he ain't playing the Giants Thursday night. So there's this extra, like nobody here, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, if he's even playing, which he's not, right? Like nobody here has any real vendetta with Tom Brady like Brady does with us here, this city, this fan base, this team. So I don't know if I'm Mike Evans or if I'm Donovan Smith or if I'm somebody on the Vita Vey or whoever it may be. I'm thinking, you know, let me get this for my guy here. Let me help my guy out.
There's a little extra motivation is what you're saying.
Well, you know, he's just like Jordan. Just like Jordan. Jordan would make up stuff.
Right. He always had a chip on his shoulder. He'd invent it. He'd invent one. Yeah.
You know, I mean, for him for Brady to even say anything about this Eagles team or about Nick Foles, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, just goes to show he's going to figure out a way to get himself motivated to play against. He just sees the wings on the helmet. He doesn't necessarily see Foles or anybody else. He's just pissed off that he lost to an Eagles team that he was supposed to beat in the Super Bowl. And he's carrying a vendetta for that right now as we speak, bro. He's pissed. But hey,
I'm telling you,
his
that's
passing
enough.
yards is pretty high, isn't it? Like was it like 280, almost 280? Brady?
Yeah, these player props for the quarterbacks are tough.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at 298 and a half. Jalen Hurts is at 288 and a half.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we saw that Monday night. Both guys went over 400 yards. Mm-hmm. So, but here's the thing. Monday night's different. Monday night is the exception to the rule to these primetime games because you have an extra night, right? Like Thursday night football, these London games, whenever you have a disruption earlier in your schedule, it seems to have an impact
on the offense.
Like the general. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Again, I think that. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just because, you know, NFL players, you know, from a player standpoint, are creatures of habit. You know, we get in at the same time. We go in, we get the treatment at the same time. We lift at the same time. We go to meetings at the same time. And when you alter that a little bit, it doesn't seem, you know, it doesn't seem like it's much, but just that little alteration in your schedule, you know, it kind of, you know, it messes with a lot of players a little bit. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen guys like
see it a lot.
My boy Jeff Reed. Jeff Reed was a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff would untie and tie his shoes 26 times a game. That's the most that's the most I've seen him do it.
Wait a second. You were friends with the kicker?
Yeah, we have lockers right next to each other.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
How did that happen?
How did that?
I thought the kicker's locker was like put aside somewhere next to the backup quarterback.
We're talking about the Steelers, man. They don't do things like that. They want everybody to be friends, kumbaya. But Jeff Reed was just a good dude.
They won a lot of Super Bowls. Maybe they're onto something.
Yeah.
But you know, he would tie and untie his shoes at least 26. The most I ever counted was 26 times. The lowest I ever counted was like 19 times. You know what I mean? So he would take his shoe, he would take it off, put it back on, tie it, take it off, put it. He would do that over the course of the game.
That's an obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
Right.
Is really what that is.
Now, what's the opposite of that? The opposite is showing up drunk from the night before, not even tying your shoes, going out there.
I've seen guys do that too.
Well, that was
up,
Vanderjak, the drunk idiot kicker in Indianapolis, right?
Right. Just showing up. Where's my helmet, man?
And you know that same game they had a DB that he and the DB and his wife had got into a fight, an altercation, and she stabbed him in the leg the night before the Super Bowl. Stabbed him in the leg.
Wait, who's this?
I forget the DB's name. Stabbed him in the leg. Look up.
Was that with the Falcons?
No, with the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, the Colts? Oh,
yeah,
man.
the Indianapolis
I don't
Colts.
remember that one.
Yes, in the playoff game, the night before the game, his wife stabbed him in the leg.
Wow. Why would that happen?
I'm trying to find that. It wasn't Hank Basket.
No.
I'm still looking at some of these no bra day videos. Jeez.
Oh, really? Anything we should be interested
videos
in?
there?
Oh yeah. Well, one was sent to. I think you guys were copied in on this too.
Oh, here it is. It's
from who?
Oh, one of our loyal followers.
How?
Bruno
How was it sent to
Smoothie.
us? Oh, on Twitter.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the Colts DB. His Nick Harper.
I never even heard about that.
Look up Nick Harper.
Wow.
She said she accidentally stabbed her husband while waving a fillet knife at him during an argument.
Is that really accidental if you're waving a knife during an argument?
She stabbed his butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ain't no accidentally.
Wow.
You just gonna accidentally stab me before a game? Come on now. Come on now. Right. I'm just
the biggest game of my life.
Right, it's in the playoffs. And it cost him a Super Bowl because he's the guy that picked up the fumble on Jerome Bettis' fumble at the end of the game.
Right.
And when Ben was able to slap his leg and make him fall, he was the guy who picked it up. He couldn't turn it over. He couldn't get that last wheel going fast enough. It was still a little flat. You know what I'm saying? That wheel was still a little flat, so he couldn't open up all the way because he got stabbed. He didn't even start the game. He got stabbed in the leg before the night before, bro. Look it up.
With what? Do we
Nick
know?
Harper.
A screwdriver, a pencil,
with a
a knife?
She just said
I didn't know.
Knife.
Oh,
Look it up.
A what?
A fillet knife.
Oh, a fillet knife, not like a butter knife.
It was the similar knife that guy was trying to sell you, Eytan. Art referred onto you as that cutlery guy.
Well,
it was a Cutco, cuz it was a Cuzco.
Well, if it was a Cutco, he wouldn't be walking, man, because that's a nice knife, man.
That'll cut through bone.
Right. But it says wife of Colts Harper stabbing was accidental. You know, Colts cornerback Nick Harper's wife told police she accidentally stabbed her husband while waving a fillet knife at him during an argument.
Wow. The accused advised that she was upset with the victim because he would not speak to her. My wife loves it when I don't speak to her.
Seriously.
Kidding me? She's not going to the kitchen drawer and getting a steak knife.
No, I'd get a parade thrown in my honor.
Yeah, she's like, man, finally you're just shutting up and letting me watch my shows.
And instead it was like, you're gonna talk.
Right.
You're not gonna be silent with me. You're gonna talk.
That's what I said, man. All the stars lined up and everything for me to win that Super Bowl, bro. I mean, everything was everything for me to win that Super Bowl. Man.
Tell me about it. I lost $1,100 on that game.
Did you really?
Yeah, Seattle.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, that's like me with that Presbyterian game last week.
Oh man! Those
were
the days.
Seriously, man, I'm telling you,
I never even heard of that guy.
Yes,
or
Nick
this
Harper.
incident.
Yeah.
No, right? This is was this even public?
Yeah.
Is Barrett breaking news?
Bro, this was the night before. In fact, we even knew about it.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying? He was in the game plan. We had to take him out the game plan.
Yeah, I mean,
don't worry about number 62. He's been stabbed in the thigh.
Yeah, right.
How did that play out in the meeting?
Oh man!
Oh man! Can you believe
what was the guy's number? Do you remember?
No. He was a DB. All I know is he picked up the fumble.
23, 27. Oh, he picked the fumble up, right?
He picked up the fumble.
All right, I'm just curious, man. Wow. That's something else. I wonder who's going to get stabbed in the thigh before this year's Super Bowl.
On Saturday, Harper phoned 911 about 3:45 and was treated at an Indianapolis hospital after deputies and paramedics found him with a puncture wound in his right knee. At his knee. It wasn't his leg, it was his knee. She tried to end that man's career.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That is crazy.
This was back at when I was the early days of the Fanatic, so I would have had to have put this in a sports update.
Right. Come on, man.
I forgot all about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say he picked up Jerome Bettis' goal line fumble with 21 seconds remaining and looked headed for the highly improbable score. But Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger tumbled and reached out his hand and made a saving tackle at Indy's 42.
You're getting tackled by Ben Roethlisberger. Something's wrong with your wheels.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? If you're
dude, that's what I'm saying. He couldn't turn it over because that knee was hurting him, bro. He couldn't just like turn. He'd have scored twice if his knee wasn't messed up. In fact, I should have gave half my check to her.
Yeah, you should.
All right, we got a break here. We're back in 3. Hit that thumbs up button. Our second hour still to come here, and no word on anybody else. I was waiting for Woj. Who's like the soccer version of Woj? Maybe somebody like that. You know, give me a sport that ESPN doesn't cover right now that they could sabotage. It's not going to be the WNBA. They have a lot of money invested in that. So they're back in the hockey business, right? So it would have to be a sport that they're not involved in right now that they want to sabotage another network from carrying. And then it would be their lead reporter that gets wrapped up in some email discussion back in the day with Bruce Allen. So,
well,
think about that.
They don't really have a lot of golf on that network.
There you go. Oh, maybe. Tiger Woods emails? Those would be juicy. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
All right, we're back at 3. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the JAKIB Media YouTube page. It's the middle.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
I gotta give me one of those rocks glasses, man.
Yeah,
I like the little
Stateside
jingle, man. Yeah,
yeah.
I like the little Stateside jingle, man.
Wow, my buddy Zach Gelb. You know Zach Gelb?
Zach Gelb.
He was a Temple kid. His father was Bob Gelb, who was started at the Fan years ago, back in the 80s and 90s, WFAN in New York. And now he's on CBS Sports Radio nationally.
Mm-hmm.
He's only in his 20s, man. He's like on his way. But at Zach Gelb on Twitter put the top 10 in the AP before the college football season started and where they are now. Number 1, Bama, is now 5th. Oklahoma was number 2. They're 4th. Clemson was number 3. They're not ranked.
Right.
Ohio State was number 4. Now they're 6. Georgia was 5. Now they're 1. Texas A&M was 6. They're now 21. Iowa State was 7. They're now not ranked. 8 was in Cincinnati. They're 3rd. 9th was Notre Dame. They're now 14th. And 10th was the Tar Heels, unranked.
Wow.
They were 10th in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to know about that quarterback there.
Yep. Sam Howell hype. And Iowa State too, man. They were ranked
terrible.
7th. Yeah.
As soon as they lost to Iowa, you knew that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, where was Iowa to begin the season? They were probably in the low teens, mid to low teens, probably.
I would think, yeah, like 14, 15, something like that, maybe. Or 12, I want to say. Something like that. And it just goes back, like Oregon was what, 9? Or no, they were out of the top 10. I think
they were not in the top 10.
11, or maybe they were 12, something like that. And you looked at their schedule, there was just Ohio State. Like, that was it. It was, if you could steal a victory in Columbus, you've got a pathway. Not easy, but you've got a pathway.
Right.
And then they lose in one of the most improbable forms and fashions to Stanford. I know they're going to kick Cal's ass and all this week, but it's just wild how you see a team that comes from not even the top 20 or top 10 with a pathway to the playoffs, and then they blow it. And it opened it up for a couple of other teams that you mentioned.
Yep.
Cincinnati, man. Cincinnati.
They have UCF this week.
It was not going to be an easy game, but they'll beat them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, taking advantage of opportunities, you know, they've willed themselves into the conversation.
Yeah. They beat Notre Dame on the road. Well,
that's a pretty big win by them.
It is.
You know, I still think, though, if you wanted to look at how, and this weekend doesn't really have a lot, unless there's an upset, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you smell an upset cooking here? Arkansas is not losing to Auburn, although they're not really involved in this conversation. I'll say this. LSU was down everybody. So that 10.5 may scare some people with Florida, but LSU is down everybody.
Right.
And Florida is going to throw all over that squad. Michigan State, I mean, you know, they're still in the hunt for the Big Ten, right? East.
Yeah, they're undefeated.
They're ranked 10. But Indiana.
Do they lose at Indiana? Probably. No. It's a short line.
It is a short line. Yeah.
Why?
We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, you brought that up.
One of the ones that jumped out at me. I'm like, they're 6-0. They run the football really well, and they're playing good defense. How is that line so short to a team like Indiana that has done nothing to impress anybody?
Right.
How's that? That's not like a big home field advantage either.
Does Michigan State have somebody that we should be talking about the following week?
Well, they play Michigan on. That's their next game, but it's 2 weeks away. Like they have, they have off the next week. So, I mean, they beat Indiana. That's going to be a great game on Halloween weekend. The Halloween weekend's got a lot of big time games on it.
So we have to wait one more week, right?
You know, Lombardi on the stream. Lombardi, you know, makes a good point too. Utah is unbeaten.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to get from Utah, though?
Well, I mean, it was saying they're unbeaten, man.
They run the table and win the Pac-12. Do they get into the playoff?
No.
Big Five.
Come on. They're Utah Utes you're talking about?
Yeah, the Utes.
The Utes
are
baby.
3-2. What are you talking about? You got to stop going to the stream. Yeah, they're not even ranked.
Oh, okay. Well,
see? This is what happens.
That's what I get.
Here's the thing. I love the stream. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fact checked. So
well, I mean, let me see. For the most part, they do a good job, man. Let me see.
Except for the guy who told you to stay in your lane. Then that's right. Or giving you bad info on the Utah Utes.
Yeah, the Utah Utes do also the BYU and San Diego State.
They ain't going anywhere.
I beg your pardon, String.
They're not even beating Arizona State this weekend.
Maybe what he meant was they're undefeated in the Pac-12 thus far.
No, I hate to do it.
You'd have to beat Herm right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Herm's going to win the South Division or whatever.
It is down to a pick 'em, as interesting as that may be. How about this tweet? Eytan Shander is a Simmons nut hugger. He tries and tries to make us all think Ben will actually do the work to be a great player, and he just can't wake up from that dream. Yeah, unicorns, butterflies, baby does, and bunny rabbits. Eytan Shander is full of shit.
That's a tweet?
Yeah, that's in response to my latest column.
Your article. Yeah, I saw
that. Which doesn't even reference that Simmons is going to do the work here, but just how likely it is that he does the work somewhere else. And we're left asking this question of what went wrong, how it went wrong, and what to do now. Like, think about it. What's more likely to happen? Carson Wentz turning back into an MVP candidate, or Ben Simmons just figuring one small aspect of his game out without dealing with Philadelphia and all the shit that's surrounded that he brought on himself, mind you.
Right. Yeah, I would say Ben Simmons would be more likely. Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting conversation to think about, right? Where it's like, hold on, what if Simmons, and it's a what if, and I asked it as a what if. I didn't say it's going to happen, but think about this. What if Simmons all of a sudden becomes an 80% free throw shooter and gets to the line
10 times a game?
Yeah, 10 to 12 times a night.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's a 20-plus point scorer. He's already all defense. If he's in Sacramento, he either won't be in Sacramento long, or there are going to be people around him. I don't know. It's an interesting. Just all of a sudden, like, what's that conversation like here?
I mean, it makes no difference to his fan base once he leaves. But since he's still here, he's going to remain the top of the conversation. He'll just get booed when he gets here. But it becomes a moot point until they get him out of here and they get him traded. You know,
why does it become moot though if Simmons focuses on this one aspect and becomes what we've all wanted him, and the Sixers, let's say, don't win? Let's say the Sixers lose to the Nets or the Bucks or the Knicks or the Hawks or whoever it may be. I guess my question, Barrett, is
if he becomes that free throw
shooter, I don't know.
Huh? If he becomes that free throw shooter and he stays here and becomes
in general, like he becomes, let's say he goes to Indiana. Let's say randomly he goes to Indiana and all of a sudden he becomes a 20-plus scorer. He becomes what we've all wanted. I don't think we look at it like, oh man, we should have kept him. But it's not an easy, like, I don't think we just forget about him either, right?
Why couldn't that have happened here is what I'd be thinking. Same way as if Markelle Fultz goes on to become a 20-point scorer, and shooting 40% from three-point like he did in his 1 year at college. And you're like, why? Guy couldn't throw it in the ocean here. He was afraid to shoot. He couldn't shoot. Why does that not happen here? He's in Orlando, scoring 22 a night, and hitting 3 threes a game.
Yeah.
He
I don't know that happens.
One of the 100 other athletes that leave Philadelphia and do well when they leave Philadelphia. I mean, it happens.
Well, they were, but it was never like this, right? I mean, it was never in this unique situation of somebody who has basically had enough 2 years into a max contract. We've seen Brian Dawkins get forced out of the organization by Joe Banner and go on and make Pro Bowls, right? Like we've seen that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's a difference. It's a difference because we're not forcing him out of this organization.
Right.
He forced his own hand.
Right.
And that's the difference. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That is
that's my difference. Yes. Thank you, Barrett. That's my whole point in all of this is that this isn't even like somebody at the end of their contract saying, that's it, I've had enough here. This would be like Bryce Harper, 3-4 years in his contract saying, that's it, I'm out of here.
Get me out.
Right. And we as a fan base have always been like, all right, you know, it's almost, we never said sorry, but we like, all right, we're giving you another opportunity to go out there and do your thing. Give us some type of hope that you're going to be a good player as an offensive player, not just defense. Become a more rounded
Become
athlete.
a complete player.
Right. You know, be a more rounded, complete player. I mean, we're giving you the opportunity again. We're gonna, you know, cheer for you and everything. Just give us something. And then he gives us nothing again. You know, it's not like we're doing this. He's doing this.
No, it wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Not this time. It wasn't
Clutch
us.
Sports and Brian Windhorst will try to make it sound like it was us, but it was not us.
It never been us this time. This time we could actually say we did not cause Ben Simmons not to dunk that basketball. We did not force Ben Simmons not to shoot good free throws.
We didn't do anything to Markelle Fultz either.
Right.
Carson Lombardi on the stream says he meant Iowa instead of Utah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that was a mistake. Honest mistake.
Fine. We appreciate. Look, this isn't. We don't bury retractions on page 6. So. No, look, Iowa. We've talked about at length here. They are controlling their own destiny. I will say this: there is a sense of extreme fraudulence when it comes to that team's offense, where they have lived and thrived off of turning over teams.
Yeah.
So if they take on Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, I may have to take a loan out and pound the shit out of Ohio State.
They still have to go on the road to win at Wisconsin and Nebraska.
You don't think they have an opportunity to beat Ohio State?
Well, I just don't think. I'm sorry.
15. That Goodson kid is a stud.
Right.
He could play for Ohio State. But I see what you're saying, Eytan, because the CJ Stroud had 5 touchdown passes last week. They can put up points, man. Now I know, they put up 60 some odd on Maryland, but if I bet they could score 4 touchdowns against Iowa. Can Iowa compete with that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Their offense isn't geared for that.
Right.
And look, they got a couple of big plays against Penn State, but that was also in game flow where Penn State lost their starting quarterback and couldn't really continue drives.
Correct. And they also turned them over 4 times and didn't take advantage of it, Iowa.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a rarity. Normally they they turn over teams and then they're able to get short fields, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jeff Parle says he's available for a reunion tomorrow. Are we in?
Well, explain, because I have a lot of questions about tomorrow. Barrett and I are supposed to go on the road and do the show from a golf outing or something down in New Jersey. You're going to be at home because of the baby. Are you going to be on the show as well with us? Like, I don't know how is this going to work?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm going to plan on being here.
Okay. All right. Well,
Friday's tricky, I think, for Barrett and myself. So that's why I was trying to get you to get a tea time earlier. Right? So you don't get stuck hosting a show with John McMullen or something.
Oh, Joey B. He's ready for you, bro.
Oh yeah.
Ready for you.
Fired up.
Oh,
yeah, he's all fired up for you, Joey.
Yeah, let's get him on tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him.
But I don't know. I mean, you're going to be down there, so I just want to make sure. What time should I say? 11:40, 12:40?
Well, we're on from 10 to noon tomorrow, not 11 to 1. That I do know.
Yes.
10 to noon. And we're going to be using.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Some different equipment, I guess. I don't know. I have a lot of unanswered questions. I just know where I have to be.
Right.
So I'm going to say 11:40.
11:40.
Okay, so for the final segment. Okay, yeah, that's great.
All right.
Hey,
he's
you were
fired up.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's angry. I don't know why. Joey B pissed him off.
Hey, look, he was trying to mold. He was
Joey.
trying
I
to
said,
mold
look,
Joey B. Yeah.
No, I had to defend Joey, man. Jeff was like, I can't wait. I'm going to come back. He's got that, like, over-the-top voice.
Was he wearing his
Ricky Fowler hat? Kick a hole in Joey B's ass.
Was he wearing his Ricky Fowler hat?
No, he's wearing the orange hat.
Well, that's the Ricky Fowler hat.
Oh, is it? Yes.
The orange pea hat.
Sorry.
See, Ricky Fowler.
No, I had to defend. I had to stick up for Joey. I didn't get it.
He was trying to mold Joey B into this, you know, an odds maker, you know, but he just went stage left. He just went totally the opposite of what Parles was trying to do. And he's still kind of pissed off about it, I guess. So, hey, Eytan, you were right, man, with these power rankings, man. The new power rankings came out. You're right, man. Buffalo's #1.
Telling you.
Cardinals #2.
NFL? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have a new trend, Eytan, a new distraction.
What's that?
Brett Favre is trending.
Oh, no.
This is Ashton Pittman on Twitter. Let me see who he is. He's a blue checkmark guy. He's a journalist for the Mississippi Free Press. The Mississippi State Auditor is demanding that Brett Favre return $828,000 he received in illegally spent welfare funds that should have gone to needy families. What?
Well, this story came out, I want to say like a year ago, was it? Or what's the date on this? Because that's when it came out.
Well, this
then
guy
it kind of
tweeted this 14 hours ago.
No. I'm saying that there is also, this story is not new.
Oh.
So this is, I want to say a couple of months to maybe a year old, where Favre was in some heavy shit going on.
Wow.
And I don't know why it happened or how it happened, but it kind of got brushed under the rug. Maybe he was just fighting it legally.
Oh, apparently he accepted $1.1 million in, quote, illegally spent welfare funds for speaking engagements that he never followed through on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these are like speaking engagements, I think, for, I don't know the specifics of it, but I thought it was for something like of a charity or things along those lines, right?
Yeah. Wow.
I don't think it was like,
so
100 guys in a boardroom.
Stamps? Is that what you're saying? He got food stamps in payment?
No,
$1 million worth of food stamps? What
Can you imagine?
About?
Well, no, he's definitely the allegations there. We need Lust. We need Dan Lust to pop on here and explain what the hell's going on with everything.
Wow.
From the Washington saga to Brett Favre to Deshaun Watson to anything else that's, I feel like we just need him now as part of the show.
Yeah.
Right?
I know. There's more legal ease with your sports these days than ever before.
So your boy Brett Favre's in some heat now.
A lot of people got in trouble with like the funds where the what do you call the payroll, the payroll money that you get with your companies. If during the COVID and everything, a lot of people were filing that they'd have like 100 employees and they only have like 3 or 4 employees, so they got all this money to help them pay their employees, as far as bank,
which didn't exist.
No,
didn't exist, and they were going out and buying houses and cars and boats with it. I hate to do it to you.
Well, did you see what was going on with the NBA guys? Right.
So yeah.
Tony
apparently.
Roten.
Oh my goodness. And the scheme was so stupid as far as like not even thought out. They had these guys all filling out forms for having the same procedure done to the same part of their mouth by a dentist on the same day. Tony Roten had like 2 separate He was one of these guys who had like 2 separate dental appointments that like 6 other guys all had allegedly on the same day. And it was like, really, all you guys are getting this abscess dealt with, on June 2nd? One dude had it down there where he was playing overseas. It's like, don't you remember that you were overseas playing?
And was it the same dentist?
Some were the same dentist. Others, it just was the same exact procedure happening on the same day.
Because maybe that dentist was in on it.
Well, yeah, if it was somebody who was the same dentist, yes. But in some cases, it was just wherever they played, they filed it. And it just so happened, once you start looking at it with a suspicious eye, it's pretty easy to see that 6 guys all of a sudden, coincidentally, had the same procedure done on their mouth in 6 different parts of the country on the same day at the same time.
Fake receipts,
Wow.
That's exactly
you got to think that one through, right? Didn't anybody watch The Wire?
So the NFL has this fund, it corresponds with the amount of years you play in the league. So as a retired player, once they shut off, for 5 years they give you medical insurance. After that 5 years, you got to pay for your own insurance, and it can get pretty expensive. In fact, that's a major reason why I'm working right now, because to pay insurance for my family at the time, I was paying like $5,500 a month.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Out of pocket. And they would reimburse you, for those fees if you didn't have insurance. Well, I'm with NBC, so I got insurance, but a lot of these players were going out and they have this fund. It's like with me, I played for 12 years, so I got I have a fund in which is like $300,000 that if I have a medical expense that I have to pay, they'll reimburse me the medical expense. Well, these nuts were saying they were going out and getting hyperbaric chambers, equipment like that, and they would send a receipt in, and then they would pay the money to the reimburse you the money back. But then they turn around, they didn't have the hyperbaric chambers, they didn't have the whatever stuff that they put the receipt in for,
right?
And now the company wants to see if they have them, and the NFL's like, well, no, you didn't get this. We just paid you for something you didn't get.
Right.
So a lot of these guys did that, and now they're getting sued, and at this point, a lot of them gonna have some jail time with this for fraud. You know what I mean?
Right.
At this point. So it's crazy that why do you even think that? I mean, why even try to do something like you don't think that they would go back and check and see? I mean, come on. We're talking about $100,000 receipt, a $90,000 receipt for a piece of equipment that you bought. And you don't have the equipment, you don't use it? Come on, man.
Well, those Deshaun Watson autographed massage tables are very expensive there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're very
What are they going
expensive. It's
for?
a high-quality leather.
Is that like a Les Paul Stratocaster or something like
Les
that?
Paul, no, that's a Fender Stratocaster, and a Les Paul is a Gibson. You're conflating the two great rock guitars.
Just signed guitars. There we go.
Right.
Not Kirk Gibson.
Oh, jeez. Or Booby Gibson.
Is he the best
today
of all time?
No. He's probably one of the worst.
Wow.
Okay, what about Boobies? Is Gibson ahead of Booby Miles?
Everybody's ahead of Booby Miles right now,
Really?
Of course.
Hold on a second.
At least the Washington football team will run
Are you
the
slandering Booby Miles right now?
ball. Well, we're not going to run the ball. So, I mean, what? Of course. Of course.
James Earl Booby Miles, former high school fullback for Perriman High School, was a primary subject in the book Friday Night Lights.
Oh, man.
All right, our Booby Miles.
Who's our Booby? Is there another Booby Miles? There are two Booby Miles in the NFL?
Yeah, Miles Sanders.
Oh, that's Boo Boo Miles, not Booby.
His name's not Boo Boo. I
No.
don't think so.
Wait a second.
This is
Are you actually being serious here? Is his nickname Booby?
Very serious.
Really?
Did you know this, Harry?
No. I did not know.
We got a running back here, and his nickname is Booby. Booby Miles Sanders.
Look it up on IG or look it up. Let me see what it is. Let me look it up.
Hold on, I need his wiki. What page is it? Wiki or is it Pro Football? Maybe. I think Pro Football Reference will have all his nicknames. Isn't that?
All right? And I stand firm on it. Booby Miles. Look it up.
It says Booby here.
Booby
that's
Miles.
a major violation of stealing a name to create your own nickname there.
Well,
there's only one. I mean, Booby Miles is a pretty specific ripoff. Does he have to pay royalties on that?
You would think so. Maybe it's just like when you take a guy's jersey number and you pay him in some nominal fee.
Yeah, you might have to pay $10,000, $5,000 for the jersey. But yes,
right.
Booby Miles is Miles Sanders. Look at his IG.
Wow.
Wow, what a slap in the face to James Earl Miles Jr. Unbelievable. Unless he's rocking some Friday Night Lights cleats out there in honor of the OG Booby.
Yeah.
It's Booby Miles, and then it's 2024 but it's the numerals, XXIV, which is 24. So it is what it is.
Are you
fellas.
kidding me?
Well,
look it up. Look his IG up.
You see the running back from Ole Miss. His name's Snoop. Snoop Connor.
Well, yeah. Snoop Connor, right?
Right. Do you think he was any? I mean, where is he on the hierarchy?
Well, is that his actual first name, or is that a middle name, or even a nickname? We have to be sure here.
Don't slander Booby Miles, man.
I'm not slandering.
No, his real name's Jared. Jarod.
So
Jared.
So my guess
Connor.
would be no.
Okay.
No royalties owed in that regard. I'm slandering the new version. You gotta at least average 55 yards a game.
Yeah, exactly.
In order to take that nickname from an OG.
Yeah, Booby, a real Booby gets more than 10 touches a game.
Seriously, that's all I'm saying. Where is this? Now, before
go to IG,
break,
man.
We got to draw the line somewhere.
No, you're right, Barrett. You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I've seen it here. You're right. His nickname is Booby, but that's terrible. Come on, the kid's he deserves his own nickname. That's all I'm saying.
Like a booby.
No, he's playing like a boob, but it's not his fault.
Right.
See, I thought you guys were just talking about Booby since it's No Bra Day.
But it is No Bra Day, right? Yeah.
No,
this is how we bring it all back.
You guys are confusing me now, man. You confusing me now, man. Come on, man.
No, it's all connected. All right, we'll take a quick one here. Some food for thought. Iowa, number 4 defense in the country, number 1 turnover margin. Want to guess what their offense is ranked in the country? Number 4 defense, number 1 turnover margin. What do you think their offense is ranked?
It's below 50.
Top 20.
Their offense,
Below
top
50.
20, below 50. It's 121.
Oh, it's 100. Wow.
They suck. I'm telling you, they can't move the ball up and down the field. They can't score at all against decent to good teams. This is an upset waiting to happen in the Big Ten championship game, folks.
Well,
that's if they don't get upset before that with Wisconsin, who stinks, or Nebraska on the road.
Nebraska would be something.
Yeah, that
also
would be something.
stinks.
Yes, correct, Barrett. They also. All right, we're back in 3. Hit that thumbs up button, please. Make sure you are subscribed as well to the JAKIB Media YouTube page. It's the Member.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Now, we got about 25 minutes or so before we get out of here and talk a little bit about this game. I don't know if anything's going to change in the next day or so. Lane Johnson's out. There's no way he's playing. Jordan Mailata, we know, is moved over to the right side. Andre Diller at the left side.
He'll play a better game, too.
Maybe. I don't know, bro. This front is... I hope you're right. How about that?
Me too. Me too. But it's another week in which he his body will get used to playing on the right side as opposed to playing left. From the off season all the way up until now, up until last week. Once your body gets accustomed to playing at that left side, and you settle in at that left side, and he has settled in, it's going to be harder for him to go back and forth like he used to if he continually concentrates on that left side. So now that he had 1 week more to practice on the right side, the right hemisphere, then he gets all his power points. His power points are starting to get back into where he's being comfortable at the right side. Like, I was uncomfortable playing on the right side for a long time because I started my career, I was playing left and all through college. I played left in my first 4 years, my first 3 years in the NFL, and then my fourth year, my last year with the Eagles, I moved over to right side. Big Trey came in and he put a stop to all that left tackle talk. He became the starting left tackle. So I moved to right side, played there 1 year, and then I went back to Detroit. I played 2 years of left tackle again, and then from that point on, I went to Pittsburgh. I went to Green Bay, played the left side, and then I went to Pittsburgh. That's when I learned to play all the positions: left guard, left tackle, center, right guard, and right tackle. But once you go through and you do it throughout practice, you switch back and forth through practice, your body gets used to it. But once you start focusing on one position for a long time, then you get your power angles back into where you want them at, and then it's easier to play that position.
Well, then he'll be going up against Sue. Mailata.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. I feel a little more comfortable with Mailata going up against Sue.
That's going to be a good battle to watch, though.
Oh, no
Not
question.
bad, no.
Question. So there's a lot of key matchups that I'm looking for. I want to see the battle between Zach Ertz also and what's his name? What's White? Not Tre'Davious White, but what's White's first
Devin?
name? Devin White.
Devin.
Yeah. That's going to be a nice little matchup because he's going to have to get loose. Now, if they blitz White, I think it'll be a big opportunity for us to push the ball down the field if they blitz him, because I really think Jalen can get away from him. He's quick enough to get away from White, and that's a big play if he gets outside of the pocket and gets the ball down the field. So we'll see, man. I mean, they'll be able to move the ball against that defense. I will say that they'll be able to move it off. Can they seal the deal? That's when they start lighting things up. Todd Bowles will start, once you get that red zone, then they'll start bringing a little more blitzes, bringing a little more pressure on this young quarterback. We'll see.
A lot of good matchups to watch, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to watch, Slay and Nelson try to contend with these wide receivers. This is the best. This is arguably the best wide receiver group in the league.
Yes.
Really.
Statistically, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Robert Woods just showed up for the first time all season last week, and you can make an argument with Cooper Kupp and what the Rams do with two speed guys. But honestly, when all three guys are healthy, Evans, Godwin, and Brown, I just don't know who's better. What trio of wide receivers is better?
Yeah, I think they are.
It's not KJ Osborne with Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, in Minnesota. Yeah.
It's not Mike Williams and then Mike Williams.
Only I think you do have a
Bills?
You have to look at Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's a nice
I'll give you Arizona.
Man. That's fair.
But are they better? Like, what's their trio? Their trio is AJ Green,
Hopkins,
DeAndre Hopkins.
and,
now they have
Christian
4
Kirk.
guys you could
Christian
look at, and
Kirk.
Christian Kirk. You could add Rondell Moore in there,
the rookie.
but
Exactly.
are you going to take those 3 over Tampa?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio
Brown, who's the biggest wild card in all of this, right?
Right.
I think Antonio Brown puts them over the top because it's almost like if you were to look at it, 1 seeds battle each other, 2 seeds battle each other. If Antonio Brown is truly their 3 seed, they win that matchup every time.
Now the stream must include the Cowboys in here.
Yes.
CD Lamb. Come on, Tampa's better
No.
than that.
Who's their 3rd guy? Michael Gallup.
That's
He's
what
been
I'm
hurt.
saying.
Gallup.
Cooper and Lamb, but who's number 3? Gallup's hurt.
Come on, we're not putting
okay.
Dalton Schultz in there.
He's okay. Well, if you got to put Dalton Schultz in there, then you got to put Gronkowski in there.
Which makes the point even further for the Bucs.
Right.
No, this is the best. Come on, this is the best passing offense in the league. Doesn't mean that other teams are bad. Like I'm with you. Arizona is a really fun argument.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can have. Is there a 3rd team? It's not Cleveland.
Yeah,
it's not Baltimore.
I was going to say Pittsburgh if they're fully healthy, but they haven't performed.
From a sheer talent standpoint, Pittsburgh is an interesting conversation. Juju Smith is out, though, for the rest of the year. Right. So, I mean, these guys are severely banged up. But James Washington, for example, when everybody's healthy, becomes your 4th receiver, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not a bad guy to have. That's like a Rondell Moore scenario going on in Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make an argument that Scotty Miller is worth his weight in gold.
Who's the 3rd guy in Cincinnati?
Well, you've got Chase, Higgins, and Boyd.
Oh, Higgins. That's the guy I was thinking of.
I'll give you. Oh, so
that's
so
pretty
from
good
an up
too.
and coming. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you that one. But this offense is no joke, man.
No.
They can run the ball.
I think we're all in. What's that?
They can run the ball. They can do whatever you want, man. Pass the ball. They have essentially three good tight ends. You know what I mean? 3. Gronkowski, when Gronkowski comes back.
Yeah,
OJ Howard.
And OJ Howard, yeah.
Cameron Brate and Rob Gronkowski. That's formidable there. Then running back position. You got, Fournette and Jones and Bernard. That's an embarrassment of riches, man. With the best quarterback to ever play the game. It's hard
I
to
would
say.
agree.
It's hard to say anything other than, that's a great offensive team put together the right way. And all those guys wanted to be there.
Gonna have to hope that Tom Brady bangs his thumb on Fletcher Cox's helmet early in this game and re-aggravate the injury to the right thumb.
Wishful thinking, right?
Right. Because then Blaine Gabbert comes in.
And that's a problem for Tampa.
Talk about a drop-off. Oh, my
Seriously. God. It doesn't matter how much talent you have around him. Then you start looking like Ben Roethlisberger.
Right. Can't believe that guy. Wasn't he drafted by Jacksonville first, and it was like in the top 10 or 11?
Right.
He was a first-round pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might have been the 11th pick.
They had a nice little run of Mizzou quarterbacks that got drafted and didn't do anything when they got to the league. I mean, nothing. You know what I mean? Remember they had Brad Smith? He got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy the amount. Don't they have one up in there's a guy up in Denver that was a Mizzou quarterback?
Yes.
Mizzou?
Yeah. Let me look up Mizzou QB.
Yeah, he's there now.
Yeah, he's still there.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
He is still
Gabbert was drafted 11th.
Wow.
10th. Excuse me. Yeah.
Chase Daniels, Drew Lock, Brad Smith, Blaine Gabbert.
Yep. I forgot about Brad Smith.
Yep.
Right. Brad Smith's another one. Yeah.
Yep.
Easy to forget.
Easy to forget. Oh, man.
Tobias Harris, Shake Milton, and Matisse Thybulle missed practice today.
What?
Why?
Are you concerned about the Sixers?
They missed practice. They were. They going to lunch with Ben?
When's their first game?
Doc Rivers doesn't rule out. This is hilarious. Doc Rivers doesn't rule out Ben Simmons being able to play Friday, but says the Sixers won't rush him into action if he isn't ready.
Yeah.
Well, they got to say that, man. They got to say that. You really think he's going to play?
No. I think you DNP his ass and just hope that you can get a deal done.
No,
Everybody's happy. He gets paid. He's there.
I tell you.
It's easier to move him. He's part of the team, like officially part of the team.
You wouldn't want to play him if he's there?
It'd be must-see TV.
I'd want to play him.
I don't know. What if he gets hurt, man?
He's not going to get hurt.
You don't think so? The guy held out for no apparent reason. He's capable. He's a volatile individual. He's capable of anything.
Yeah, they start next
He's
Wednesday.
unpredictable.
Next Wednesday against the Pelicans.
All right, so we got to bring our buddy Kai back on here.
In New Orleans. And then they get Brooklyn on Friday the 22nd. And this whole Kyrie situation is very interesting.
Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. And they're still not ruling out the fact that they might trade him still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who would want him if he can only play half the games, or not even half the games?
Well, he could play in Philly. He could also play in New York. He could still play in New York if he's on a different team. He can't play for New York. He can't play in New York if he's in a New York employee. Like if he's employed in New York, he can't be there. But he can't go in to New York.
It makes
and
no
play.
sense.
It doesn't.
None of it makes any sense.
It doesn't. But he can't play there for sure. So,
I don't know, right?
No.
Well, he can if he's playing for another team. As long as he gets COVID tests when he comes in, he could play in New York. You just can't be an employee and play in New York.
Apparently, the practice facility is a private building / organization up there, so he's able to get in there. Yeah, I guess it's more a matter of
if it's private or not.
But here's the thing, though. Well, just as far as like what's mandated, if it's something that's public versus not. But I guess my question would be more so a matter of, I don't believe for the life of me that the Brooklyn Nets are just going to dump Kyrie Irving. Now, that may be tough talk to get Kyrie to take the shot. That may be tough talk to get, Kyrie back in the building. But
he's too unreliable for his talent.
Unreliable, but at the same point, you're not. What are you going to get back? You don't just dump somebody like that.
We're about to do the same thing with Ben.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think you're going to just dump Ben Simmons. I think the reason why this has taken so long is because Daryl Morey is not just, screw this shit, I'm done with him.
Right.
They may feel that way, but I think there's a lot of posturing from the Brooklyn Nets because they know they can capture the public opinion of, Irving's an idiot, or Irving's anti this or anti that, flat earther, all this stuff. But at the same time, come on, you guys honestly think that they're just going to dump him?
No.
For nothing?
No.
Well, I think Ben Simmons is something. If they trade, a la, and even Steven, Ben, because can you imagine Ben up there in New York? I mean, that's a nice.
Well,
little
that's
combo
not
of the
going to
three.
happen. They're not going to trade Simmons for Irving.
He doesn't need to
and
score
Irving's
there.
problems don't go away, right? That's the thing.
That's the thing. He's too unreliable. He's like, if it's not this, it's always something else too.
Yeah.
There's a
Boy,
lot of
Daryl
drama
Morey,
with him.
I mean, wow. If he got Irving straight up for Simmons, that's already better, even if Irving only plays 40 games for you.
At least we know he'll play in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just right.
Oh man.
At that
we
point,
don't care about the regular season. Just get to the playoffs and play. You know what I'm saying? Bubble wrap him.
He's 29 years old. He'll be 30 in March. I mean,
it doesn't matter. He didn't play enough basketball.
It's maddening that. What's that?
He hadn't played enough basketball the last 2 years to even count his season.
He's missed more games tan he's played, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the last couple where you've seen it overall. He's back in the Cavs, he was up there. He was playing a lot. Boston, I think, is when he started to get hurt a little bit. But look, I mean, what's crazy in all of this is that there's something, I guess, similar with Simmons where it's like, dude, just figure one thing out and you'll be okay. Simmons, it's tangible. It's that scoring aspect of it. Irving, it's like, if you just figure out whatever the hell's going on in your head, you're back to being one of the top 3-4 point guards on a nightly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there's risk,
ask.
I think, right?
Yeah, that is a big risk.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, dude, if he was only happy, right?
He seems to always find something that doesn't make him happy.
Yes.
You
If,
know what I mean?
was a spliff, we'd all be high.
Or exactly. Did either of you guys watch any of the hockey last night?
No, but I hit that over. Apparently, you're supposed to bet overs in the first week or so of the NHL season.
Oh, yeah?
So I took the over on that Vegas. I was so, I'm not judging by any means. I didn't think it was for many people, but I was fully inundated in that ULL App State game.
Now, okay, so you watched
Crushed
that
it.
because I watched some of that too. I know you had action on it.
I'm not anti the hockey, Harry. Not
No.
to derail.
But
Sorry.
what was your thoughts on the production value of the broadcast? It sounded to me, and I was telling Barrett this at the beginning of the show, it looked like a high school TV club production.
Really?
Yes.
You get that on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. You know,
seriously,
the quality, they don't send the same cameras. You know, like some of the games that
was
I
it
do.
bad work?
it was just bad. Like it didn't look like a quality camera was filming the game.
Like everybody had iPhones out.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
man, honestly,
It looked
I
really
didn't
low
even
budget.
notice.
It looked really low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just used to that, huh?
But then I watched some of the hockey too, and the Kraken's uniform colors. It's like a seafoam green.
Ugh.
Ugh. Ugh.
Sea foam green.
Seafoam green.
Now, what is that?
It's almost like a
Popular
like
boat
a
color.
like a pastel kind of a color. Look it up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know they had that big, huge display in Vegas last night of the Knight killing the Kraken before the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. When do the Flyers start?
I like
Friday
the black
night.
ones.
Friday night.
The black
Okay.
jerseys are nice.
Yeah, they wore the white ones last night. I see the black ones. They do look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White for Vegas or the Kraken?
No, white for the
Kraken.
Kraken. They were on the road, so I guess that's their
Okay.
road gear. Yeah, the Flyers play Friday night. I think it's in Vancouver.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Friday night? What do we have Friday night?
Well, there's
Couple of college
Oregon and Cal,
Yeah.
Blowout.
Clemson and Syracuse.
Dude, Syracuse getting 14 at home against one of the worst offenses. Clemson is not good offensively at all.
Oh, no, the Flyers is a home game. Vancouver is in Philadelphia Friday night. So
Syracuse lost two heartbreakers back to back. They played Wake really well. Meanwhile, Clemson is just a walking disappointment. 14 points on the road?
There's history between these two, too, like close games. Like Syracuse upset them a few years ago up there.
I think it was last year, wasn't it?
Well, I think it was. No,
Oh,
it
maybe
wasn't
COVID.
last
You're
year.
right. Maybe it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you got action Friday night. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah,
Marshall, North Texas?
I don't think I'm going to be able to fit any hockey in on Friday night. I'm sorry.
When's the yeah?
Yeah,
Well, you really have that in baseball. You'll be all geared up for this baseball crap. on
Mertitas will
Friday,
be
right?
putting on his communion outfit and going wobbling on in through the players
Oh, yeah, I
entrance
tell
at
you,
the
man.
Wells Fargo Center.
Well, my nephew has a
Good
game
to have
that
you
night
back at the
too, bro.
barn, Barrett.
Oh, it's the best.
What do you say, Harry? What do you say?
Yeah. What's going on, Har? Yeah. Oh man, I texted him about Nolan Patrick last night, and he couldn't wait to respond. He was the bubbles were coming up almost before my text was fully delivered. He couldn't wait to answer. Nolan Patrick plays for Vegas, and I'm like, how the hell did Vegas get him? I thought What did the Flyers? They didn't make a move with Vegas. He said no. They traded him here. They immediately shipped him out. Blah, blah, blah. He had the whole thing. He gave me a whole diatribe on it. He's just waiting for people to ask him hockey questions.
Seriously,
it's hilarious.
He's
such an underutilized asset in his view. You know?
Yeah.
They got a gym here, Harry. Yeah. They got a gym here.
It's like Barry Melrose sitting there in a pinstripe suit with all his hair product in, waiting for somebody to ask him to come on and talk about the NHL season.
Now, real quick, as we have to get out of here in a minute. Did you see this? Nick Sirianni brought a few coaches to his house on Sunday night after they returned to Philly.
I did.
To get a jump on facing the Bucks on Thursday.
Yep. Looking at film early on. He's just
can't
let a minute slip by. We can't waste a minute.
Good.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah.
You need
I need to know what T-shirt was he wearing at that at home?
Yeah.
Stop, man.
In his own in the confines of his own house. I need a leak.
Right.
Somebody needs to leak this.
How much does he pander at his house?
Oh my goodness. Do you think he gets his kids involved with it also?
Yeah, right.
The whole family, even the dog wears something, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, like who's he pandering to? Jeff Stoutland? Right? Jeff Stoutland walks in there and be like, take that damn cat off your head.
Well,
the hell is wrong with you?
Jeff Stoutland, he better start, voicing his opinion, you know what I'm saying? Move a little that weight around, tell him, hey, you got to listen to me, bro. Run the damn ball. I need that from Stoutland. You know what I mean?
They're not doing it this week.
Well, no, they won't.
It ain't happening this week.
So I might as well not even talk about it, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. Don't waste your time on a baritone about the Eagles' non-existent running game. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. That was way back in 2017, Eytan, when Syracuse upset
2017.
Clemson.
Wow.
2017.
I thought it was much sooner. Interesting.
Yeah. And then the next year, it was a close game. Clemson won 27-23 the next year. And 2019, they blew them out 41-6. And that was on the road. Last year, they beat them 47-21.
Okay.
So.
It's way too much for me.
You think that's too
much? If
much?
anything, you can tease. Yeah, why not tease Syracuse up? They're not losing that game by 21 points. Clemson's offense is non-existent.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Syracuse is a top 25 ranked defense, and they're just around a top 10 rushing team.
Mm.
They're not a bad football team. They've lost to good teams. They battled Wake. I get it, Florida State, but still, Florida State is more talent than Syracuse.
Yeah.
Just something to think about. All right. I don't know we'll figure this all out for tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And anything else? Did we miss?
No, we hit it all.
You sure?
We hit it all.
People are calling for Martinez.
Yeah.
But of course.
I don't mean here. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, they're calling for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, we'll see you.
All right.
We're full Kraken tomorrow. See you.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, we got this.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fought. What's that? Huck and Fought. Go now to steersnacks.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.